Happiness is a state. It isn't a long-lasting, permanent feature of someone's personality as described in the Oxford English Dictionary. Glucose range is a state. It isn't a long-lasting, permanent feature of someone's diabetes management. Hi, I'm Camille, person living with diabetes since 2012 and a diabetes YouTuber since 2017. And over many years, I've seen an increased focus on metrics like HbA1c and time in range. They are very important metrics. They get devices and therapies approval from healthcare professionals, regulators, and investors. But in my view, they don't automatically translate the approval of people living with diabetes, because quality of life is the single most important metric. And I define it as time and happiness. If you are a healthcare professional watching this, all I ask of you is to ask 2 questions when a person with diabetes walks into your office. How are you? And what can I help you with? I know you don't have a lot of time, but in my opinion, if you're analysing someone's insulin sensitivity ratio from a PDF report within the first few minutes of the appointment, you're doing something wrong. Ask about what they're struggling with. You'll be surprised at what they might say. Just because someone's time in range is 80%, it does not mean that automatically you need to see them less frequently or that they do not face daily challenges. For years, I was scared about exercising after experiencing a lot of hypos when I was exercising when I was first diagnosed. You would never know that looking at my PDF. I often like to say, if you're talking about the brush, not the painting, you're talking about the wrong thing. Tech and therapies are tools that should enable you to finish your painting, and so often we only really talk about the tools. And asking a simple question like, what can I help you with, makes a massive impact. I now gym 3 times a week, usually with very little or no insulin on board and special overrides. And I have a great painting of me as a gym bro. If you are a person living with diabetes, I urge you to be bold. Embrace the fact that you are really keen to look after your health. I mean, the fact that you are watching this video and you are subscribed to Nerdbetic tells me everything I need to know about you. You are really keen to get information and you are really keen to look after your health. I know that, and if someone tells you otherwise, they don't see what I see. I prioritize the person living with diabetes because I sometimes feel like we've just changed the phrase from diabetic to person living with diabetes to be polite, and we've really lost the substance of actually putting the person first. Don't be afraid to throw topics like starting a family, picking up a hobby you always wanted, or starting a new sport. Paint the picture of the person that you want to become and then work together with your diabetes stakeholders to create it. No matter the tools, whether there's a hybrid closed loop, CGM, GLP-1, structured diabetes education, connecting you with a local peer support group. All of those are brushes. Use them to get to the painting that you want to have. If you are an innovator, think about time and happiness when designing solutions for people like me. If your app gives me 1 notification a day, it better be so important that you need to stop me from train spotting in the English countryside. If you designed an infusion set or a CGM which requires 8 steps to set up every time I put it on, you better have a really good reason that you couldn't ship it with 5. If you want to use the word alert, think about the mental consequences of me reading alert thousands of times in my lifetime and ask yourself, how would you feel seeing it a number of times a day? I'm not saying don't use it. All I'm saying is think about the language, because language matters when it comes to tech, and think about how you would feel if you saw it every day. Time and happiness is not a metric of a scientific degree by any stretch of the imagination, and I know this holistic approach to health and quality of life has been talked about a lot, but after 7 years of YouTubing, I wanted to make a video for you to take it seriously. Because the reality is that over the last 7 years, I have seen so much innovation in the brushes we use, yet so little conversation about the actual painting we are trying to create.